Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. This is Tawagman, and as you know, we talk all things real estate, all things finances, so that you are not the passenger of a financial situation, but you are actually the driver. This is the main importance of this channel. So today I'm not alone, I'm here with Mr. Ntokozo. Mr. Ntokozo, from Hardcore Motivation.
Yes, Hardcore Motivation.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. So I see you inspiring people on your Hardcore Motivation channel on YouTube.
Yes.
So tell me about it. Where does it come from?
Well, Hardcore Motivation is a social media platform whereby I produce motivational videos. I post on a weekly basis on 3 different platforms. Yes, that's what it is. Actually, it's just a motivational platform.
Yeah. What inspired you to start doing something like that of that importance?
Well, I started doing motivation when I was at one of the lowest points in my life, and I needed something to get me going, and to lift me up. I just wanted that intrinsic motivation rather than to have something that comes from the outside, but I needed to generate something from inside of me to keep myself going. And I realized that in order for me to do that, I would have to share it with other people as well, so that they can also keep motivated.
Yeah. So of course you are talking from a position of experience where you have experienced some of these things that you are talking about on your motivational videos. And of course, we all agree that life is very difficult.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Yeah. So how do you actually deal with life and its difficulties?
Well, so my main what I can tell is that yes, life is hard indeed, because the moment you are born, life starts to fight you from all directions and from all angles. I like to make an analogy. That life is like a jungle, and all animals are fighting for supremacy and for survival. Understand? So you need to use your strengths in order to make it in life. And you know that a lion is a gifted hunter, and it's raw, it's fierce, and that's what makes it make it in the jungle. So human beings, we have the power of our minds. This is what God has equipped us with to actually make it. So you need to use your mind, and in order for you to deal with whatever that comes your way.
Power. So we talk of life as this difficult thing, but from your own perspective, what do you think makes life so difficult?
What makes life difficult? Number one. Is the people in it. According to me, life is simple, my man, but human beings, we like to complicate things. We like to put ourselves into things that we cannot manage or we cannot handle. Because human beings, we have this tendency of wanting to accumulate more things that we can no longer manage, So we ourselves are the victims of our own hardship in life, because we just want more.
Okay. So what are some elements that contributes to this? I take you talking of greed and all that, but what are other elements that contribute to the difficulty of life?
I think the other element is the power of the mind, my man, because life is a narrative and it's a perspective, and so in life you are like an actor, and you're like a movie star. You should be acting out the role that you want your life to be, So you should portray the character that you want to see in your life. Life is like a story, and you are the author. You write your own story. You tell yourself what you want to see. You tell yourself how you view any situation. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not about what happens to a person, but it's about how you react to it. One person can...
No, repeat that again. Repeat that again. Because so many people they feel like they are victims. You understand? And the moment you feel you are a victim, then it sort of cripples you.
Yeah.
So, but repeat that statement that you just said, because there's power in that statement.
It's not about what happens to you in life. It's about how you react to what happens to you.
Yeah.
I mean, two people can face the same situation, but react to it differently and view it differently. And that situation can affect those two people differently.
Yeah.
One person can perceive a situation in a way that brings them down. Another one can just see a glass as half full rather than half empty.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of perspective.
Mindset.
Yeah, it's a matter of mindset, yeah.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Wow, man. Oh, man. Guys, you need to check this guy out on his channel. You need to check this guy out.
Yeah,
so I see you have some books here. What is the importance of reading?
There's two ways of learning in life. Number one is to learn from your experiences. Number two is to learn from other people's experiences.
Yeah.
So when you go through life in real time, you learning from your own experiences. You make those mistakes and you learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
But books have other people's experiences written in them, you know, so you can learn a lot from other people's failures and successes in order for you to use that in your life, you know, to make it to keep going.
And what is your favorite book? The favorite book that you read and it changed your life?
Actually, one of my favorite books is one of the most best-selling financial book out there. I think it's The Richest Man in Babylon.
The Richest Man in Babylon.
Yes,
that's a nice book. Yeah.
By George Clayson, George Clayson, I think.
No, I read that book.
Yeah.
That's very. And the most important thing is it's a small book.
A very small book,
but the message there, wow.
It packs power.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's packed. Yeah.
Yeah. And talking of finance, like we talk about life difficulties now, but in most people, the thing that it's actually making their life harder, it's finances.
Yeah, most definitely. They play a major role in that.
So what do you see that is lacking in our community that makes people struggle with finances?
Number one, I think the subject of finance is a very sensitive subject to many people, to families, and you know, because the moment you mention finance, people's moods start to change. Yeah. So I think it's kind of a taboo to talk about finance. With many people. So that's one of the major challenges. The fact that finance is still, you know, much a taboo.
No, I agree with you 100%. Because at some point of my life, I found out that I actually don't know nothing about finance. And this was basically the reason why I actually started this channel to talk about personal finance and all that, because I realized that nobody taught me these things. Maybe there's a lot of people like me that were not taught these things. So how do you think people can actually improve their financial situations that they find themselves in, especially in this, we're just coming now out of COVID, and now there's inflation coming at a very high rate. Things are becoming so much expensive. So how do you think people can improve their financial situations in this?
So the thing is that the financial industry is one of the most important and the biggest industry in the world. It's what makes life works. It makes the economy to work. You know. Yet the most challenging thing about the subject of finance is the fact that it's not taught in school. You know, many of us, we grow up without any financial literacy. We being taught different theories, and all other subjects. But the subject of money, we are not taught in school. We are never taught in school. So we grow up being in a dark place when it comes to finances. So I think the number one thing that is important is to acquire financial knowledge. Financial literacy is very important.
Yeah.
That's where everybody needs to start to learn about money, basic principles of money, and fundamentals of money, how money works, where it comes from, how does its purpose from the beginning, where it is right now. Because the financial system is one of the most intricate systems in the world. It's very complicated and it's diverse and it's big. It has many categories and many branches.
Is it really complicated, or there's just prevention of everybody to understand it?
The thing is that money has evolved over time. You understand that people back in the days started exchanging value using precious metals like gold, simple things of that nature. But right now, money has evolved to become paper money and ultimately digital money. So there's a lot now happening behind the scenes. Money is being printed, by using a process called quantitative easing. So many people don't understand how is money created. Number one, money is a debt system. So it's created with
exactly.
Yeah.
So I actually, when you talk of that, people don't know where money comes from. I actually posed this question on social media on maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, and I got very, very strange answers in terms of, and that really told me that people don't really understand money, and they don't understand where it comes from, because none of them were even able to tell me where money is actually created. Do you have some understanding that you can tell the people where money comes from actually?
Well, money right now is controlled by central banks. The supply of money is controlled by central banks. Like, for example, in South Africa, we have the Reserve Bank of South Africa, South African Reserve Bank. In China, they have the People's Bank of China. In America, they have the Federal Reserve Bank of America.
And maybe one of the things that maybe should put people into perspective to understand really what is happening with money is, if the Reserve Bank is the one that is controlling the money, who is the Reserve Bank? Who controls the Reserve Bank? Is it the Reserve Bank, the government, or is the Reserve Bank private? What can you plan?
Well, the Reserve Bank is a private entity. It functions independent of the government, because the government borrow money from the reserve banks, from central banks, using what they call government bonds, like as a form of investment. So because the tax that the government collects is never enough for them to finish their projects, so they end up borrowing money from central banks by issuing government bonds, which are a form of investments.
So if the bank is the government is borrowing money from the Reserve Bank, where does the Reserve Bank get this money?
Well, the thing is, money is a credit system or a debt system, if I can say. It's created based on supply and demand, basically. Like I'm talking about credit and debt, supply and demand. So if there's more debt demand, then the central bank is gonna supply money. It's gonna print money out of nowhere and borrow it to commercial banks and the government.
So there's a key statement that you said, that the Reserve Bank gets money out of nowhere, actually the way other people say is out of thin air, right? So what is the consequence of the central bank creating money out of thin air?
Well, the consequence of that ultimately is inflation, which usually affects the little man in the street, the average person in the street.
Yeah.
The thing is that before 1973,
73, yeah.
before 1973, money was pegged to precious metals like gold. The value of money was pegged to the value of precious metals like
system,
gold.
yeah, the system, yes.
So money had this value backing it, but after President
Richard
Nixon in 1973, after he took the money out of the gold standard, money became fiat, which is a French or Latin term that means let it be. It means that there's nothing backing this money anymore. So it's just
So what you're trying to tell me is that money is money because people put value in it, but in itself it is nothing.
Currently, money is a belief system that is backed by the government and the military.
And what is interesting is that everybody is after money.
Yeah.
Everybody is after money. And money, yet money is nothing.
Yeah.
How strange is that?
It is very strange, my man.
Yeah.
It's awkward times we live in. We live in the times where we don't know what's real, what's fake anymore. Yeah. It's awkward times.
It's awkward times.
It's really it's really fascinating for something that makes the world work, to be fake.
Yeah. These things that we are talking about, you spoke about people must be in a situation, put themselves in a situation that they improve their financial situation by learning financial literacy. This information that we are talking about, where and how must people get this information or learn about money?
Well, the great thing is that right now we are living in the information era.
Yeah.
We are living in the 4th industrial revolution. So information is widely available out there. It's just a click of a button away.
Yeah.
There are websites like investing.com where people can learn a lot of financial wisdom there, a lot of financial literacy from there. Like you can just search whatever financial subject that you want to know about, and you can get information from there. Google, in fact, Google is your friend,
Exactly. Yeah, but so many people don't know these things, but yet they're there.
There's also like lots of financial books that we have here, that you can learn.
You can learn from.
Yeah.
Okay.
But this is why leaders are leaders. People who make it in life are people who continuously seek information.
Yeah.
So that's what people need to do. Continue to seek information. Yeah.
So what drives you to learn this information in terms of finances? To put yourself in that position where you possess this financial literacy?
I think it was a matter of saying enough is enough, because I've found myself caught up in the rat race whereby I used to just go to work, get salary, spend it, go again, get another one, spend it, and so I realized that strategy really it wasn't sustainable.
Yeah.
So I was just one paycheck away from being broke or from a nervous breakdown or from a financial crisis. So I said to myself, enough is enough. I need to know how the people who make it out there, like to the pinnacle of the financial independence, how do they make it? I need to learn from the best. Then I started seeking for information. I started reading financial literacy books, like The Richest Man in Babylon, one of the basic books that talks about basic money and investing principles.
Yeah, that book I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It's a nice book. So now, after you have realized that there's this need and you started learning these things, is there some example, some sort of investing things that improve your situation that you can really share with the people that improved your financial situation?
Yes, number one, the first thing that I can say to the people out there, the first thing that you need to make it in the financial industry, number one, you need to have a source of income.
Yeah.
If you don't have a job, or do whatever you can to grind. And it's not about where you start, it's about where you end at the end. So you can start small and grow over time. It doesn't matter whether you're getting paid 100 rand a day or even 10 rand a day, whatever you can to get money. And when it comes to this subject of money, the sooner the better. The early bird always catches the worm here. Or it might not always be the case, but they have a better odds of catching the worm.
Yeah.
So you need to start young. I'll give you an example. Some of the richest people in this world, probably the top 100, top 10, they started in very humble beginnings, but it was never about where they started. They embraced where they are, and they kept on going until they became at the top of the richest list in the world.
Yeah.
For example, Warren Buffett, one of the best investors of all time, he started his first job as a newspaper delivery boy. He was just delivering newspapers, and then he made his first investments on gambling machines. So, and today one of the richest investors of all time. But he had humble beginnings. Oprah Winfrey started working at a grocery store next to his father's barber shop. Today she's one of the richest women in the world, and one of the richest men. Jeff Bezos started working at McDonald's, was flipping burgers behind the scene, but it was that first paycheck, that got him to where he is right now. So never despise where you are, embrace where you are, and acknowledge where you are, and know that it's just a stepping stone to the next level. So the problem with South Africans is that they think more means more, but less means more. Understand?
Yeah.
So you need to focus on the minor things in order to make it to the bigger things.
Yeah, you speak power.
I'm gonna speak from the heart.
I just want this to go on and on.
Sure.
But of course, people out there, they can still find you for more information from you.
Yeah.
Where can they find you?
Hardcore Motivation at on YouTube, and on Facebook also Hardcore Motivation, as well as on TikTok I'm Hardcore Motivation 22. So that's where they can find me basically.
Okay, great man. Do you have a message for the people out there that you like to share with them before we close?
Well, what I can say is that people don't have to rush the process of making it to the top, because life happens in steps. It is a step-by-step process. Nobody birth a baby in 1 month, no matter how hard they can try, because life is just a step-by-step systematic process. So they need to focus on the step-by-step process and on the little things that they can do in order to get to the top. Because if they can try to leap the stairs or jump the stage, they can trip and crash and even fall back to start from scratch. And that's not what people want, So they need to take it easy. The fastest way to the top is the slow way.
Exactly. And yet there's this get rich quick thing that people think they're gonna get rich now. What can you say about that?
Hear this from me attentively. The fastest way of getting rich is the slowest way. That's what I can say.
Yes, the slowest way. Yes, exactly. Because what I've realized is that, like you said, life is a step to step. So what I see is that you are at point 0, right? Then you go to point 2, right? But point 0 represents a valley. And then when you say you are going to point 2, represents on top of a mountain. But that is another beginning of climbing another mountain. And that's how life is. So when you're at 2, you need now, you're at the bottom again. You need to go to 3. When you're 3 at the bottom again, that's what I realized.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah. Okay, guys, I don't want this to end. We obviously have to end it because of time. But it is important, guys, to remember that you need to be the driver of your financial situation. Because if you're not driving it, somebody is driving it for you. And you don't want to be the passenger of your own financial situation. So, if you have not subscribed yet to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. Share this video with your friends and family. Also, go to his YouTube channel. I'll put the link on the description here. Cheers. I'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.